Hi, this is Rochelle Beach, and I've been given an assignment with a promise that it'd be a blessing to my life, and I believe it would. So that's why I'm going to follow the counsel of my mentor, Robert Hollis, who asked us to record in our own voice the God Memorandum. So here I go. Take counsel. I hear your cry. It passes through the darkness, filters through the clouds, mingles with the starlight, and finds its way to my heart on the path of a sunbeam. I've anguished over the cry of a hare choked and the noose of a snare, a sparrow tumbled from its mother's nest, a child thrashing helplessly in a pond, and a son shedding his blood on the cross. Know that I hear you. Be at peace, be calm. I bring relief for your sorrow, for I know its cause and I know its cure. You weep for your childhood dreams that have been vanished through the years. You weep for all your self-esteem that's been corrupted by failure. You weep for your potential that has been bartered for security. You weep for all your talent that's been wasted through misuse. You look upon yourself with disgrace, and you turn in terror from the image you see in the pool. Who is this mockery of humanity, staring back at you with bloodless eyes of shame? Where is the grace in your manner, the beauty of your figure, the quickness of your movement, the clarity of your mind, the brilliance of your tongue? Who stole your goods? Is the thief's identity known to you as it is to me? Once you placed your head on a pillow of grass in your father's field, looked up at a cathedral of clouds, and know that all the gold of Babylon would be yours in time. Once you read the book, once you read from many books and wrote on many tablets, convinced beyond any doubt that all the wisdom of Solomon would be equaled and surpassed by you. And the seasons would flow into years until, lo, you would reign supreme in your own Garden of Eden. Dost thou remember who planted and planted these plans and dreams and seeds of hope within you? You cannot. You have no memory of that moment when first you emerged from your mother's womb, and I placed my hand on your soft brow. And the secret I whispered in your small ear when I bestow the blessings upon you. Remember the secret? You cannot. The passing years have destroyed your recollection. They filled your mind with fear and doubt and anxiety and remorse and hate, and there's no room for remorse, for joyful memories where these beasts habitate. Weep no more. I'm with you, and this moment is the dividing line of your life. All that's gone before, like no more than time you slept within your mother's womb, what is past is dead. Let the dead bury the dead, the day you return from the living dead. I don't know why I'm my mouse. Anyway, okay. This day, like Elijah with the widow's son, I stretch upon thee 3 times and you live again. This day, like unto Elijah the Shulamite's son, I put my mouth upon your mouth, my eyes upon your eyes, my hands upon your hands, and your flesh is warm again. This day, like unto Jesus at the tomb of Lazarus, I command you to come forth and to walk from your cave of doom and begin a new life. This is your birthday. This is your new date of birth. Your first life, like unto a play in of a theater, was only a rehearsal. This time the curtain is up. This time the world watches and waits and to applaud. This time you will not fail. Light your candles, share your cake, pour your wine, and you have been reborn. Like a butterfly from a chrysalis, you will fly. Fly as high as you wish. Neither the wasps nor the dragonflies nor mantis of mankind will obstruct your mission or your search for true riches of life. Feel my hand upon your head. Attend to my wisdom. Let me share again with you the secret you heard at your birth but forgot. You are my greatest miracle. You're the greatest miracle in the world. You know that, Rochelle. Those were the first words you heard. Then you cried. They all cry. You did not believe me then. Nothing has happened in the intervening years to correct your disbelief. How could you be a miracle when you consider you're a failure at most of the menial things that you do? How can you be a miracle when you have little confidence in dealing with the most trivial of responsibilities? How can you be a miracle when you're shackled by debt and lie awake in torment over whence will come tomorrow's bread? Enough, enough. The milk is spilt and it's sour. Yet many prophets, how many wise men, how many poets, and how many artists, how many composers, how many scientists, how many philosophers and messengers have I sent with word of your divinity, your potential for godliness, and the secrets of achievement? How did you treat them? Still, I love you. I am with you now. Through those words, to fulfill the prophet who announced that the Lord shall set his hand again, the second time, to recover the remnant of his people. I've set my hand again. This is the second time. You are my remnant. It's no avail to ask, haven't you known? Haven't you heard? Hasn't it been told to you from the beginning? Haven't you understood from the foundations of the earth? You've not known. You've not heard. You've not understood. You have been told that you are divinity in disguise, a god playing a fool. You've been told you're a special piece of work, noble in reason, infinite in faculties, express and admirable from form and moving, like an angel in action, like God in apprehension. You've been told you're the salt of the earth. You've been given the secret, even of moving mountains, of performing the impossible. You believed no one. You burned your map to happiness. You abandoned your claim to peace of mind. You snuffed out the candles that had been placed along your destined path of glory, and then you stumbled, lost and frightened in the darkness of futility and self-pity, until you fell into the hell of your own creation. Then you cried. You beat your breast. Cursed the luck that had befallen you. You refused to accept the consequences of your own petty thoughts and lazy deeds. And you searched for a scapegoat to which to blame your failure. How quickly you found one. You blamed me. You cried that your handicaps, your mediocrity, your lack of opportunity, your failures were the will of God, and you are wrong. Let's take an inventory. Let us first call a roll of your handicaps, and how can I ask you to build a new life, lest you have the tools? Are you blind? Does the sun not rise and fall upon your witness? No, you can see. And the 100th million receptors I've placed in your eyes enable you to enjoy the miracle of a leaf, a snowflake, a pond, an eagle, a child, a cloud, a star, a rose, a rainbow, and the look of love. Count one blessing. Are you deaf? Can a baby laugh or cry without your attention? No. You can hear, And the 24,000 fibers I've built in each of your ears vibrate to the wind in the trees, the tides of the rocks, the majesty of an opera, a robin's plea, children at play, and the words, I love you. Count another blessing. Are you mute? No. Do your lips not move and bring forth only spittle? No, you can speak, as can no other of my creatures, and your words can calm the angry, uplift the despondent, goad the quitter, cheer the unhappy, warm the lonely, praise the worthy, encourage the defeated, teach the ignorant, and I say I love you. Count another blessing. Are you paralyzed? Does your helpless from despoil the land? No, you can move. You are not a tree condemned to a small plot while the wind and the world abuses you. You can stretch and run and dance and work. From within you, I've designed 500 muscles, 200 bones, and 7 miles of nerve fiber, all synchronized by me to do your bidding. Count another blessing. Are you unloved and unloving? Does loneliness engulf you night and day? No, no, no more. For now you know love's secret, that to receive love it must be given with no thought of its return. To love for fulfillment, satisfaction, or pride is no love. Love is a gift on which no return is demanded. Now you know to love unselfishly is its own reward, and even should love not be returned, it's not lost. For love not reciprocated will flow back to you, and spoken and purify your heart. Count another blessing, and count this one twice. Is your heart stricken? Does it leak and strain to maintain your life? No, not at all. Your heart is strong. Touch your chest. Feel its rhythm, pulsating hour after hour, day and night. 36 million beats each year, year after year, asleep or awake, pumping your blood through your more than 60,000 miles of veins, arteries, tubing, pumping more than 600,000 gallons each year. Man has never created such a machine. Count another blessing. Are you diseased of skin? Do people turn in horror when you approach? No. Your skin is clear, a marvel of creation, needing only that you tend it with soap and oil and brush and care. In time, all steels will tarnish and rust, but not your skin. Eventually, the strongest of metals will wear with use, but not your layer that I have constructed around you. Constantly it renews itself. Old cells replaced by new, just as the old you is now replaced by the new. Count another blessing. Are your lungs befouled? Does your breath of life struggle to enter your body? No. Your portholes to life support you, even in the vilest of environments of your own making. They labor always to filter life-giving oxygen through 600 million pockets of folded flesh while they rid your body of gaseous wastes. Count another blessing. Is your blood poisoned? Is it diluted with water and pus? No. Within your 5 quarts of blood are 22 trillion blood cells, and within each cell are millions of molecules. Within each molecule is an atom oscillating at more than 10 million times each second. Each second, 2 million of your blood cells are replaced by 2 million more in a resurrection that's continued since your birth. as it's always been inside, and now it's on your outside. Count another blessing. Are you feeble of mind? No. Can you no longer think for yourself? No. No. Your brain is the most complex structure in the universe. I know, within 3 pounds and 13 billion nerve cells, more than 3 times as many cells as there are people in the earth, to help you file away every perception, every sound, every taste, every smell, every action that you've experienced since the day of your birth. I've implanted them within your cells. More than 1,000 billion protein molecules. Every incident in your life is there only by your recall. And to assist your brain in the control of your body, I've dispersed throughout your form 4 million pain-sensitive structures, 500,000 touch receptors, and more than 200,000 temperature detectors. No nation's gold is better protected than you. None of your ancient wonders are greater than you. Within you is enough atomic energy to destroy any of the world's greatest cities and rebuild it. Are you poor? Is there no gold or silver in your purse? No, you're rich. Together we've just counted your wealth. Study the list. Count them again. Tally your assets. Why? Why have you betrayed yourself? Why have you cried that all the blessings of humanity were removed from you? Why did you deceive yourself that you were powerless to change your life? Are you without talent, senses, abilities, pleasures, instincts, sensations, pride? Are you without hope? Why do you cringe in the shadows? A giant defeated, awaiting only sympathetic transport into the welcome void and dampness of hell? You have so much. Your blessings overflow your cup, and you've been unmindful of them, like a child spoiled in luxury. Since I have bestowed them upon you with generosity and regularity, answer me. Answer yourself. What rich man, old, sick, feeble, helpless, would not exchange all the gold in his vault for the blessings you have treated so lightly? Know then the first secret to happiness and success, that you possess, even now, every blessing necessary to achieve great glory. They're your treasures, your tools from which to build, starting today, the foundation for a new and better life. Therefore, I say unto you, count your blessings, and know that you've already have the greatest. You already are my greatest creation. This is the first law you must obey in order to perform the greatest miracle in the world, the return of your humanity from living death. And be grateful. Grateful for the lessons learned in poverty. For he is not poor who has little, only he that desires much. And true security lies not in the things that one has, but in the things one can do without. Where are your handicaps that produced your failure? They exist only in your mind. Count your blessings. The second law is like unto the first. Proclaim your rarity. You've condemned yourself to a potter's field, and there you lay, unable to forgive your own failures, destroying yourself with self-hate, self-incrimination, revulsion at the crimes against yourself and others. Are you not perplexed? Do you not wonder why I'm able to forgive your failures, your transgressions, your pitiful demeanor, when you cannot forgive yourself? I address you now for 3 reasons. You need me. You are not one of a herd heading for destruction in a gray mass of mediocrity. You are a great rarity. Consider the painting of Rembrandt, or the bronze of a Degas, or the violin of Stradivarius, or a play by Shakespeare. They have great value for two reasons. Their creators were masters, and they are few in number. Yet there are more than one of each of these. And that reasoning, you're the most valuable treasure on the face of the earth, for you who created you. For you know who created you, and there's only one of you. Never in all the 70 billion humans who have walked this planet since the beginning of time has there been anyone exactly like you. Never until the end of time will there be another such as you. You've shown no knowledge or appreciation of your uniqueness, yet you're the rarest thing in the world. From your Father in his moment of supreme love flowed countless seeds of love, more than 400 million in number. All of them, as they swam within your mother, gave up the ghost and died, except for one, you. You alone persevered within the loving warmth of your mother's body, searching for your other half, a single cell from your mother so small that more than 2 million would be necessary to fill an acorn shell. Yet despite impossible odds, in that vast ocean of darkness and disaster, you persevered. You found that that smallest cell, joined with it, and began a new life, your life. You arrived bringing with you, as does every child, the message, I was not discouraged of man. 2 cells now united in a miracle. 2 cells, each containing 23 chromosomes, and with each chromosome hundreds of genes, which would govern every characteristic about you, from the color of your eyes, the charm of your manner, to the size of your brain. With all combinations at my command, beginning with a single sperm from your father's 400 million, through hundreds of genes in each of the chromosomes from your mother and your father. I could have created 300,000 billion humans, each different from the other, but who did I bring forth? You. One of a kind, rarest of the rare, a priceless treasure possessed of qualities in mind and speech and movement and appearance and actions as no one else has ever lived, lives, or shall live. Why have you valued yourself in pennies when you're worth a king's ransom? Why did you listen to those who demeaned you? And far worse, why did you believe them? Take counsel. No longer hide your rarity in the dark. Bring it forth. Show the world. Strive not to walk as your brother walks, nor walk as the leaders walk, nor labor as the mediocre. Never do as another. Never imitate. For how do you know you may not imitate evil? He who imitates evil always goes beyond the example set, while he who imitates what is always good falls short. Imitate no one. Be yourself. That's all you need to be. Show your rarity to the world, and they will shower you with gold. This, then, is the second law. Proclaim your rarity, and now you've received 2 laws. Count your blessings. Proclaim your rarity. You have no handicaps. You're not mediocre. You nod, you force a smile, you admit your self-deception, but what is your next complaint? Opportunity never seeks thee? Take counsel, and it shall come to pass. For now I give you the law of success in every venture. Many centuries ago, this law was given to your forefathers from a mountaintop. Some heeded the law, and lo, their life was filled with the spirit of happiness, accomplishment, gold, and peace of mind. Most listened not, for they sought magic means, devious routes, and waited for the devil called luck to deliver them the riches of life. They waited in vain, just as you've waited, and then you wept, blaming their lack of fortune. The law is simple. Young or old, pauper or king, white, black, male, female, all can use the secret to their advantage, for all rules and speeches and scriptures of success have to obtain it. Only one method has never failed. Whosoever shall compel you to go with him 1 mile, go with him 2. This then is the third law, the secret that will produce riches and acclaim beyond your dreams. Go another mile. The only certain means of success is to render more and better service than is expected of you, no matter what your task may be. This is a habit followed by all successful people since the beginning of time. There, I saith, the surest way to doom yourself to mediocrity is to perform only the work for which you're paid. Think not for being cheated if you deliver more than the silver you receive. For there is a pendulum to all life in the sweat you deliver. It's not rewarded today. It will swing back tomorrow, tenfold. The mediocre never goes another mile. For why should he cheat himself, he thinks. But you're not mediocre. Go another mile is a privilege you must appropriate by your own initiative. You must not avoid it or neglect it. Don't do only little as others do, for the responsibility for your failure is yours alone. Can't blame it on anybody else. You can no more render service without receiving just compensation than you can withhold the rendering of it without suffering the loss of reward. Cause and effect, means and ends, seed and fruit, these cannot be separated. The effect already blooms in the cause, and the end pre-exists in the means, and the fruit is always in the seed. Go another mile. Concern yourself not. Should you serve an ungrateful master, serve him more. And instead of him, let it be me who is your debt. For then you will know that every minute, every stroke of every service will be repaid. And worry not. Should your reward not come soon, for the longer the payment is withheld, the better for you. The compound interest on compound interest is this law's greatest benefit. You cannot command success. You can only deserve it. And now you know the greatest secret, necessary in order to merit a rare reward. Go another mile. Where is this field whence you cried when there was no opportunity? Look around you. See, where only yesterday you wallowed in the refuse of self-pity, you now walk tall on a carpet of gold. Nothing's changed except you, but you're everything. You're the greatest miracle, Rochelle. You're the greatest miracle in the world. And now the laws of happiness and success are three. Count your blessings, proclaim your rarity, go another mile. Be patient with your progress. To count your blessings with gratitude, to proclaim your rarity with pride, to go an extra mile and then another. These acts are not accomplished in the blinking of an eye. Yet, that which you acquire with most difficulty, you retain the longest, as those who have earned a fortune are more careful of it than those from whom it was inherited. Fear not as you enter your new life. Every noble acquisition is attended with its risk. He who fears to enter the one must not expect to obtain the other. Now you know you're a miracle, and there's no fear in a miracle. Be proud. You're not the momentary whim of a careless creator experimenting in the laboratory of life. You're not a slave of forces that you cannot comprehend. You're a free manifestation of no force but mine, of no love but mine. You're made with a purpose and a mission. Feel my hand. Hear my words. You need me. I need you. We have a world to rebuild, and if it's requireth a miracle, what is it to us? We are both miracles, and now we have each other. Never have I lost faith in you since the day when I first spun you from a giant wave and tossed you helplessly on the sands. As you measure time, that was more than 500 million years ago. There were many models, many shapes, many sizes before I reached perfection in the more than 30,000 years ago. I've made no further effort to improve on you in all those years. how could one improve on a miracle? You were a marvel to behold, and I was pleased. I gave you this world and dominion over it. Then, to enable you to reach your full potential, I placed my hand upon you once more and endowed you with powers unknown to any creature in the universe, even until this day. I gave you the power to think. I gave you the power to love. I gave you the power to will. I gave you the power to laugh. I gave you the power to imagine. I gave you the power to create. I gave you the power to plan. I gave you the power to speak. I gave you the power to pray. And I gave you the power to heal. My pride knows no bounds. You were my ultimate creation, my greatest miracle, a complete living being who can adjust to my climate, my hardship, and any challenge. One who can imagine their own destiny without any interference from me. One who can translate a sensation or perception, not by instinct, but by thought and deliberation to whatever action is best for himself and all humanity. Thus, we come to the fourth law of success and happiness. For I give you one more power, a power so great that not even my angels possess it. I give you the power to choose. With this gift, I placed you above my angels, for angels are not free to choose sin. I give you the complete control over your destiny. I told you to determine for yourself your own nature in accordance with your own free will. Neither heavenly nor earthly in nature, you're free to fashion yourself in whatever form you preferred. You had the power to choose to generate into the lowest forms of life, but you have the power out of your soul's judgment to be reborn into the highest forms which are divine. I've never withdrawn your great power, the power to choose. What have you done with this tremendous force? Look at yourself. Look at the choices you've made in your life and recall now those bitter moments when you would fall to your knees if only you had the opportunity to choose again. What is past, and now you know the fourth law, the fourth great law of happiness and success. Use wisely your power of choice. Choose to love rather than hate. Choose to laugh rather than cry. Choose to create rather than destroy. Choose to persevere rather than quit. Choose to praise rather than gossip. Choose to heal rather than wound. Choose to give rather than steal. Choose to act rather than procrastinate. Choose to grow rather than rot. Choose to pray rather than curse. And choose to live rather than die. Now you know that your misfortunes were not my will, for all power was vested in you, the accumulation of deeds and thoughts which placed you on the refuge of humanity were your doing, not mine. My gifts of power were too large for your small nature. Now you've grown tall and wise, and the fruits of the land will be yours. You're more than a human being. You're a human becoming. You're capable of great wonders. Your potential is unlimited. Who else among my creatures has mastered fire? Who else among my creatures has conquered gravity, has pierced the heavens, has conquered disease and pestilence and drought? Never demean yourself again. Never settle for the crumb of life. Never hide your talents from this day hence. Remember the child who says, "When I'm a big boy," but what's that? For the big boy says, "When I grow up," and then he grows up and he says, "When I'm wed." But to be wed, what's that after all? The thought then changes to "when I retire," and then retirement comes and he looks back over it and somehow he's missed it all. It's all gone. Enjoy this day today, tomorrow. You performed the greatest miracle in the world. You return from a living dead. You feel self-pity no more, and each day will be a challenge and a joy. You've been born again. And just as before, you can choose failure and despair or happiness and success. The choice is yours. The choice is exclusively yours. I can only watch as before in pride or sorrow. Remember then the 4 laws of happiness and success. Count your blessings, proclaim your rarity, go another mile, and use wisely the power of your choice. And one more to fulfill the other 4. Do all things with love. Love for yourself, love for others, and love for God, me. Wipe away your tears, reach out, grasp my hand, and stand up straight. Let me cut the grave cloths that have bound you. This day you've been notified. You are the greatest miracle in the world.